you know, it should be easier for both teams in this matchup compared to what they have next, potentially. Here are the predictions from everybody on the crew. As you can see, we're starting off with some T1 love there. Cloud Templar goes for Gen G, but then the entire English crew over here, at least the casters, didn't get a chance to ask G-Sun. But, of course, all of us did go for Gen G, various different numbers there. Bitdog going for the 3-2 for T1, and you can see a lot of 3-2s and 3-1s. There are no 3-0 predictions at all, and it's pretty mixed. You know, it's not favoring one team entirely.
No, there's a little bit of an edge towards Gen G, and I think considering the recent record, specifically in best of fives, that is understandable. But also, a lot of those Gen G votes are they're 3-2s, and 3-2s generally is a sign like I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Like I can see this go either way. As the fan predictions should be no surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the T1 effect, of course. This is from all of LCK's social media, so you can see if you do go to any of those social medias, you can also vote on the matches and give your thoughts. But this is as of 4:40 p.m. Currently, it's about 4:57, so we were about 17 minutes off the mark. But yeah, pretty much accurate. That's basically what the fans are going to think, you would have to imagine. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, and we'll get into more of the stats and the best of 5 stats as well for both of these teams, but definitely strong in different facets. T1 is certainly known as the best of 5 king in Korea.
Yeah, and that makes it all the weirder, I'd say, that the last time we saw these two teams face, it wasn't close at all. It was both on the individual and on an overall level. T1 getting completely outskilled. Also cast your mind back to a year ago, a little bit more, when we were taking a look at the qualifier for Worlds, where it was also out of seemingly nowhere, a 3-0. And today I don't want a 3-0.
Yeah, hopefully no 3-0, but we do have a video I'm getting word of. So let's jump into that and take a closer look at this matchup that we do have today. As it is the last hurdle to the finals. The two teams meet again. It's the classic derby. This is a big thing here in Korea. Everybody talks about Gen G versus T1, and we get it here once again. No surprise.
That's what we want. That's looking good. That's looking very close. And as you can see in the regular split, it's often T1 that finds the edge. This split included. And Gen G, they went, like a lot of our teams, through a rough patch. I think we can say this of any team that is still in the tournament between Damwon, T1 and Gen G. They've all had moments where it kind of fell apart. In Gen G, it was specifically round 2 where they really started to kind of taper down. But then the last series against Nongshim was basically return to the Gen G of old.
Yeah, and I think there's one thing, you know, we haven't gotten to the draft yet, but if there's one thing I do not want to see, if I'm a T1 fan, it's Bdd syndrome. No. Let's just ban that out. You know, if you're hoping to have a chance against Bdd, that is, the guy is pretty insane, and he had a game-winning play. They are up against Nongshim. Teddy's return, actually. Teddy comes back into the playoffs. They bring the veteran back for the extremely high-pressure matchups, and he had a fantastic performance up against Liv Sandbox in T1's 3-0 against them in the round 1.
It was an exceptional return from Teddy, because not only did he bring the traditional Teddy strengths that we kind of gotten to associate the player with, his late game team fighting, but also his early laning was so much more impressive. Literally got a kill, level 1, in a counter matchup that he was given. I think something that will make you really excited about today's match as well. Especially considering that for Ruler, recent match looked better again, but not the Ruler that I think we've used to see. And also we can see this in the All-Pro votes, right? It's one of the very first times that we see Ruler take a little bit of a nosedive, and that's an important matchup there in the bot lane. Yeah.
We're taking a look at Ruler versus Teddy. Note that Teddy in both 2017 and 2018, he was on Jin Air, so things have changed, I suppose. Teddy kind of getting the upper hand in recent times. As you can see, Ruler, over the course of summer, he was first when it did come to damage per minute. So even though we were saying, oh, Ruler doesn't look exactly like the, the 80 carry that he used to be, he's still good. But actually, he was exceptional when it did come to the stats, at least. He was outputting a lot of damage.
And that says a lot about how high our expectations are. And I think this is something that we in the LCK in general don't really take into account. Like, context is everything. And when Ruler isn't clearly the best AD carry in the entirety of like the LCK, we're like, oh man, he's having a rough split, which that's not really reasonable. And as pointed out, I think that Teddy, I like the swap to Guma when it came to it, but I'm also exceptionally happy to see him back. He's been an incredible player, and Teddy and Ruler. Fact that Gen G's had some difficulties. When they do find real grasp in the game, when they really hold on to something, like for example a Baron, they use it better than basically any other team, right? Like when they get a Baron, it basically ends the game for them. They get incredible Baron power plays, if not end the game immediately. Whereas for T1, we've seen them get Barons, we've seen them get in positions where they get 2, 3, 4k gold leads, but then actually closing out has been somewhat of a difficulty.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I spoiled before, of course, Raska will be starting here today. This is the classic Gen G lineup. Not going to mix anything up today. And certainly a lot of focus there on that mid lane for this matchup, Bdd versus Faker. Canna, Oner, Faker, Teddy, and Keria will be the lineup here for T1, so no change-ups here either.
And while I liked Birdle and earlier in the year, Zeus, their debuts as well, I think that, especially in the case of Raska, it's become very clear how important these players.
He loves his Azir. And yeah, I was calling for the Syndra, but when it comes to comfort, there's nothing better than Bdd playing Azir. As we're not going to talk about that, we're going to talk about Renekton Italy as the flash comes in and Oner picks up first blood, gets the heal in, and a couple of ranged minions are trying to be a little bit cheeky, but they cannot take down the Nidalee.
Forgo a lot of the laning pressure that the Azir can have.
We're going to look here at this gank. Let's go for it, he says.
끝. 살만해.
Got him. I think I'll live.
집 갈게.
Gen G as well. A lot of ultimates available for them.
T1 sprinting up to this fight, and let's see it. Carria's just gonna jump on in, but the box is getting so much value to Slicing Maelstrom as well. As here we go, frontlining are a bunch of these members of T1, but they can't get any kills. Threatening everybody. Oner not quite able to assassinate there in the front line, and here comes Bdd as well. Canna doing a good job frontlining, but can't actually get anyone. Finally, they do pick off one, but at the end of the day, Gen G get a bunch of kills plus the Rift Herald.
From T1, but I think their comp works much better when they don't have to engage in a full-on 5v5. Even with an okay engaging carrier, the lockdown that's available, and a really good exhaust from the cannon, you see that their burst is immaculate, but if they don't immediately blow someone up in the longer fights, they're gonna kind of get out-traded. Ruler also really good weapons for that point in time. While this was happening, by the way, didn't catch this on the first track, Gen G also got the Herald, right? Yep. And really nice snipe from Teddy, but between the Herald, favorable trade in terms of kills. It's okay, you put some pressure down, but doesn't really get you a lot more than that, as what do? It's the problem of being Aurelia flashless into this Zeus. Clit is preemptively jumping back in an attempt to kick back Faker in case he did actually make it a little bit further. And Carrier are later. They're shoved into the turret. They need to clear the way first before they can roam up.
Oh, by the way, feel like I've seen this before. Not sure exactly where. Faker uses his flash, but he's still dead.
And going for a Rift Herald when the entirety of Gen G is there is a good call.
No, and here comes Bdd. I don't even know if they saw this teleport. Here we go again. The flash comes in, predictive, and he's going to get Teddy. And how about a perfect follow-up on the death sentence? Now we got a couple people coming in, but Oner's going to get kicked in. No follow-up damage, but that is going to be fine. As now coming in here is Rascal looking for the follow-up kill, and Gen G are just running T1 around the map here in game number one. Canna might survive with the help of the blast plant, but still so much value straight goes into the pocket of Gen G. TP for Varus. Follow me. No flash, no flash. Rel. Is what he said after that.
Looking out.
Oh, he actually hit him! And now we have the blast plant, and Oner is just done, as he does not have his flash, and Bdd picks up his third kill.
Find the backer, he is the one who's getting punished. We'll see it on vision, so maybe a collapse here.
Okay, we might have the Aurelia flank. Life in an awkward position here. The teleport is coming in. There's only 3 members of Gen G right now. We got Baron going on, I believe, as Azir, Bdd, and Clit are doing Baron. Ruler and Rascal get away, and yes, Life will go down. But take a look at this. And now you just teleport up to the top side. And what are you going to do, send in Faker alone on his teleport? No, of course not. Doesn't look like they have any idea. And Gen G, they sacrificed their support for a Baron at 21 minutes.
Possibly contested.
Here we go. Carria's got a nice little engage. That's a lot of damage, but Bdd survives. Oh, I say that, and then he does die, actually. The shutdown does go the way of the Nidalee. Clit, not the best forward standing position here. Nearly dies himself.
Lead now, as they just get over. Rascal doesn't have teleport.
Great reaction from Teddy.
Yeah, really nicely done. And it's still salvaged, which is kind of nice. But in the end, it's not going to be very eventful for the actual course of the game.
It's Aphelios and it's Azir. As Oner trying to get in, Clit says no to that. Immediately kicks, and now, you know, why not just take an objective? We got the crash down to the Magnet Sword, though, as the stopwatch is huge to keep Life alive. And it doesn't look like they have enough damage, although you see Kanna's trying to get it done. Teddy with a nice couple of moves, but Ruler is the real problem here. He's still alive with full health, full mana, and even Bdd is going to live after his own Zhonya's. And now they can just waltz down the mid lane and do whatever they want.
And they get the Baron, they get the fight, and I don't think that T1 is going to be able to recuperate from this one. Don't know if they can quite end. Might be a possibility here. It's only Oner and Carrier that are going to be up, and they go for turrets very quickly. With Bdd's health bar as low as it is, maybe they want to go back. Do see some pings on the red buff, so I think that Gen G is going to play it safer. And honestly, why wouldn't you? If you see the amount of dominance that they have, and even though this is a gorgeous engage from Carrier here, it ties into the issue that we set up earlier. it doesn't matter if you don't get everyone. And the only one that you really get here, or yeah, it's nice that you get Clit, that life goes low immediately, but Rascal can ult immediately Zonia's. Ruler, not afraid at all. Bdd, not hit at all. And as long as those two stay alive with some semblance of the Clit or the Fresh in terms of defense, there's no play.
Yeah, he wanted the quadra kill. He's like,
how dare you?
Took it away.
That's mine.
I love how he knows exactly how many kills he's getting.
It's you know how it's like bullet counting, but Rascal is that with, or Ruler rather is it with the kills. Yeah. You know, as soon as he gets the first one, the counting starts, and he won't be happy until he's hit 5. Gotta hit that benchmark, and now sieging with this composition, a lot of range available for Gen G. Gonna use these cannon waves, mid pushing in already. And I don't know how you can defend their ST1 if that last engage from Carrier, beautiful as it was, wasn't enough. I don't know if anything is going to be Valdez.
Yeah, I mean, your only real option is you have to catch Ruler and blow him up, I would imagine. And then, even then, Rascal and Bdd do so much damage at this point that, yeah, maybe you need all 5 of them. As, okay, Fakery's gonna find a little angle here on the Clit, just gets picked immediately into all the damage of Gen G and just gets punished. Tries to recreate the Bdd flank. Doesn't quite work out as well when you're this far behind. As, yeah, Gen G's gonna push on in and are looking to take down the Nexus turrets. That Moonlight Vigil, we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Ruler's had a good game outside of that one maneuver. As the play is here, the Magnet Storm does nothing, and Teddy, he can't even win against the Sand Soldiers right now. As in we go, Rascal diving, trying to go for a little bit of mental warfare. He's, of course, got 2 stasises ready to go.